सजना आ भी जा, सजना आ भी जा.
Time to get all musical with a musical diva, Shibani Kashyap, right here on Follow. वैसे Shibani, you don't need any introduction, but this song is something which has touched our heart and our soul. I think any party or any, I would say, especially social events, kind of incomplete without this number.
That's right. You know, I've been singing this song for so many years and finally I found my Sajna. So I think this is my lucky song.
So we are talking about this song, Ho Gayi Hai Mohabbat Tumse. I'm sure, it's your first song?
My very first song, and it was released way back in 1998, eons ago, like.
1998, the era that we all remember. And
Yeah.
this song was something like
The golden era of pop music, I would say.
So I'm sure इस song के साथ आपकी भी कुछ बहुत special memories जुड़ी हुई होंगी. Anything you want to tell us about, like
My first song, first album,
Yeah.
and my first music video, and of course I won lots and lots of awards for this song. It was it was a wonderful experience because I got to work with very talented people.
First is always very special.
Yeah.
और जब भी हम कुछ पहला करते तो generally there's some incident or the other that happens, or has it happened for you also when you were shooting this song?
Oh, there were not just one but many anecdotes, many incidents. But of course there's this one which is really dramatic, very filmy and scary also. So that I'll never ever forget. While we were shooting for this video, before I tell you कि हुआ क्या, I had told this to the team and the unit that, bhai, I can't swim this. Don't worry. There was this one shot of mine where I'm running on the beach. Okay, where they show me jogging on the beach, and you know the hero sort of follows me or whatever. And while I'm running, Santosh Shivan told me that just keep running and don't just stop only when I tell you cut. So just keep going until I say cut. So I took him very seriously, obviously. So it's the action, and I just kept running, and I ran so much that I think I was out of hearing distance. And finally, I found myself in the ocean, and I found myself waist deep in the water. And then suddenly the water became neck deep, and then suddenly I realized that there was no ground beneath me. So, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to drown. And then I panicked. And then I started waving my hands and arms and started saying that, bachao, bachao, bachao. And then I think one of the production assistants, he realized that, oh, she probably doesn't know how to swim when she's drowning. So he ran to kind of save me, but then suddenly he stops dead in his foot, and he's like, what happened? And he decides to, untie his laces and take his shoes off, because he's not, nahi, bachane to ja raha hu, lekin let me first, joote bach jaye mere. My gosh, and I was by now I was screaming, and I was paranoid, and I was panicking and hysterical. And then of course, suddenly, the hero realized that, my co-star is drowning. So he did his hero bit, and he just, he was like this bungee jumping, adventurous, deep sea diver kind of a person. So he dived from God knows where, and he just, pulled me out of the water, and then he took me on his back, and I was saved. So it was a very filmy incident. I can never forget. It actually happened in like real time, real life.
So कहते हैं ना, करियर में कुछ भी करने के लिए वो आग का दरिया है, डूब के जाना है. आप तो लिटरली डूब के गई हैं.
हाँ, डुबकी लगा के, totally.
So on that note of swimming and डूबना, I think ये song तो सुनना बनता है. One of my favorites, and Shibani, if you can please sing it for us.
Absolutely, yeah. Because after this song, I was called the Ho Gayi Hai Mohabbat girl for a very long time. हो गई है मोहब्बत तुमसे, आए पलकों में ख्वाब बन के, रह गए सर आँखों पर, बड़े हैं एहसान तुम पे, दिल में किया जो बसर.
Oh my God, that takes me so much back into that era. I feel so nostalgic, and this is such a lovely song, and your voice was just that was required to get it up there. Without you, I'm sure this song couldn't have happened. So Shibani,
Thank you.
You are a singer. You also walk the ramp sometimes, I've seen.
Yeah, I do a lot of fashion shows.
Talking about all this, fashion shows, something which happens completely on stage.
Yeah.
Singing, you do a lot of shows, be
Yeah.
it social or corporate.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when something happens on stage, me also having been a part of that
Yes.
thing. So I know कि बहुत सारे ऐसे incidents होते हैं which are like completely crazy. So I'm sure you have had your share, right?
Oh my
And-
gosh.
Yeah. And
I should write a documentary on that. I should make a documentary on that. Seriously, it's just so. I mean, you know, there have been people who have been trying to compliment me, but they were so sort of maybe inhibited or taken over by the whole show. I remember this one time in Ahmedabad, I was performing and somebody came backstage and said, "You were so good. You were out of the blue." I was like, "Out of the blue?" So maybe they wanted to say you were out of the world or something. So things like that. So how people get nervous. But there was this one time in Delhi, which I mean, I don't think this incident nothing can beat this incident. So there was this one mad fan, as I call him, completely mad fan, who came rushing through the crowd. It was quite scary actually. I was on an 8 feet stage with barricades and all of that, with full-on security. There was no way that anybody could have even come close to the stage. But this fellow just jumped up like a leopard or a tiger, like a leopard just jumped like that, like a big cat. How he jumped, till date I can't.
Stage.
He just landed on stage like that, like this, And I was singing "Ho Gayi Hai Mohabbat" that time, and in the middle of my song, he takes hold of my hand like this and says, "Mujhe inke saath gana hai." And
God.
of course, the police and security rushed towards me and they rushed to get him off the stage. But I said, "Look, stop. He has done a huge feat by actually
climbed feats to reach.
Yeah, like exactly
Yes.
8 feet high stage.
I know. It's
Yeah.
like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, all those people who are into this, who know this like kind of a concert stage.
Yeah,
How big it is.
exactly. So I said, okay, let him sing this one line with me. So he sang it, and the happiness and joy on his face to sing that one line with me was, oh gosh, it was precious.
And I think with so many songs that you have, like, and especially mostly Sajna was definitely a complete hit. But I think one other song which really got everyone going, and I'm sure when you perform it on stage with that kind of an energy that song carries,
Yes.
I'm sure the crowd will go mad, which is Zinda, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
Absolutely.
before I go on to talk about Zinda, can you please sing that song?
Yeah, absolutely. So here is the unplugged version of Zinda. You all have heard the very clubby, EDM-ish kind of version in clubs.
Yeah.
So here's the version that we do on stage, and people really love it and they appreciate it. हवा कफ्न है, सांसें दफन है. हवा कफ्न है, सांसें दफन है. मिट्टी मिट्टी है सब. जिंदा हूँ मैं. किसके लिए? हाँ, जिंदा हूँ मैं. किसके लिए? Yes, I'm alive. जिंदा हूँ मैं. आप सबके लिए.
And one more person जिसके जिससे कुछ ही टाइम पहले आपकी शादी हुई है
Of course.
और उनका प्यारा सा नाम आप ही बताएंगे तो अच्छा लगेगा शिबानी.
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
You're making me blush, yeah. Come on.
That's the idea of the show. I want you to blush as much as possible. So
Okay.
tell me his name. मतलब ऐसे ही शर्माते हो.
Oh, his name is Rajiv Roda.
Rajiv Roda. And how did you fall in love with RR?
With RR. Oh gosh. So, well, actually we've known each other for many years from Delhi. For about 15 years we've known each other as friends.
Okay.
But the romantic ghantiyan, जिसको कहते हैं romance की घंटियाँ बजी, yes, in 2012 when we were reintroduced to each other by our very close friends, the Meet brothers, who are
दूसरी नजर से देखने की दूसरे को.
the Meet brothers who are our pandits. We call them our pandits. They're really, really close friends. So they had been for some time saying, "Hey, Shibani, chal shaadi kar le yaar, shaadi kar le." And they would tell him also shaadi kar le. And then I think put it into my head that why don't you marry him, and put it into his head, why don't you marry her. So we went out on a couple of dates, and finally, I mean, there was a spark which started happening. But finally, when the falling in love really happened in a beautiful place called Bandhavgarh, which is a gorgeous place in Madhya Pradesh. So I was shooting a music video, and so I was looking for like a co-star in that for me. And I was discussing it with him, and he said, "Why don't I shoot with you?" I said, "Yeah, great, because he's really good looking." And I said, "Chalo, let's do this."
He's good looking. We wanted to point that out, but coming from Shibani, it means a lot. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I think during that shoot we really fell in love, and there was this one scene in the video where he's supposed to the actor, the character is supposed to propose to me, and he actually proposed to me, and it just felt very real because that's when he really proposed to me. Yeah.
Well, with all that romantic talk, और उन्होंने तो अपने style में, he's already done his proposal. Time for, why don't we listen to a song which you would want to dedicate to him?
Oh, absolutely. I know the song of mine that he really truly loves. There's a song called हो रहा है मुझको ये यकीन तेरे जैसा कोई भी नहीं. It was featured in the film The Great Indian Butterfly, the film which had Sanya Mridul and Amir Bashir. It's a beautiful film. So here's my dedication to my beloved Rajiv. हो रहा है मुझको ये यकीन तेरे जैसा कोई भी नहीं, ना मिला ये जहाँ तो ना सही, जन्नत मेरी है तो बस यही.
So romance is in the air, and everyone who loves Shibani, I'm sure, is gonna follow even more after seeing this particular episode. So Shibani, talking about all this, talking about love, let's move on to something which is new. I'm sure Shibani से जब भी बात करते हैं कुछ ना कुछ नया in store ज़रूर होता है.
Yes, there's lots which is happening. I've recently done a tribute song to Geeta Dutt, and I'll sing a few lines from that, the way I've sung and recreated the song, and that just got released. And there's a very nice single which is released recently on YouTube. And I just feel that artists should just keep coming out with their singles and their music, and just keep putting it out on the digital domain.
And of course, if you're talking, we can't just keep talking about it. We need to hear.
I'll sing a few lines of both the songs, of course.
Another song coming your way, people.
Alright, so this is Dil Kahe, which is right there on my YouTube channel. So all my lovely fans who's listening to me and watching me on Follow Me, please go and click on YouTube, Dil Kahe Shibani Kashyap. Dil kahe wo lamhe yaad aaye वो लम्हे कभी कभी दिल सोचे कि दिन हो वैसे रातें वैसी, कभी कभी दिल चाहे कि चाहत की बरसातें वैसी, कभी कभी मैं ये चाहूँ एक पल लाऊं यादों में जाके वो
With songs like these, how can you not fall in love with Shibani? Shibani, अभी एक song और बाकी है, हाँ?
Sure. वक्त ने किया क्या हंसी सितम, तुम रहे न तुम, हम रहे न हम, वक्त ने किया.
So hope you guys had a lot of fun, because इतने सारे गाने in such a short span of time with the very musical and gorgeous and the talented Shibani wouldn't have happened. All you need to do if you want to watch more is follow and stay connected on follow. Keep subscribing, and हम ऐसे नहीं जाएंगे, because on that last note, a last song from this
For
gorgeous
sure.
girl.
Thank you. क्या नज़ाकत है तेरी अदाओं में, क्या शरारत है